Alright artists, go ahead and grab your lined paper from last week. Remember that we drew 5 lines. We had our straight line, wavy line, zigzag line, scallop line, and castle line. If you want, go ahead and grab a outlining tool. I'm going to be using a black marker, and just so you guys can see a little bit better on this video, I'm going to go ahead and outline those 5 lines I already made, and then we'll finish up on the rest of our page. When you're outlining, you only need to trace over the lines that you already made. Don't worry about creating new ones on top of those, just trace them. So now let's get started on those last few lines. See that line we did for number 4, that scallop line? We're going to flip it and do it the reverse way. This time we're going to be having our angles curve up. So we're going to curve down, curve up, curve down, curve up, curve down, curve up, all the way to the edge of our paper. It looks sort of like some choppy waves you might see in the ocean, right? Alright, so let's move on to our next line. Remember that straight line we did all the way at the top? We're going to pretty much do that line, but we're going to put some breaks in between it. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a dashed line. Sometimes we can use this to show movement. We'll make a line, put a space. Make a line, put a space. You can even use your finger for this part. Keep on going all the way to the edge of your paper. Are you ready for another one of Miss G's favorite lines? This one we saw in our book when the whale was splurting some water up from the top of it. So this one's called a curl. And what you're going to do is you're going to go up, over, down, up, over, down, up, over, down, all the way to the edge of the paper. And now we're going to move on for our last line of the day. We're going to create a line very similar to our dash line, but this time it's going to be called a dotted line. So instead of those straight lines that you see, you're going to do little circles or little dots all the way across your paper. Now if your paper is all the way filled up like Miss G's, you're ready for the next step. If you still have some space, maybe you can repeat some of the lines that you had on earlier. Ready for some magic? Voila! Here's our next step. Time to fill with color. Alright, let me reverse it back. So we're going to be working with our Roy G. Biv colors to fill in the space between each line. So remember Roy, that starts with red. What comes after red? It's orange! And what comes after orange? Let's see, Roy, white, that's yellow! And next up we have G for green. After green, that's right, blue. but what's that last part? Well, remember, for IV, which is indigo and violet, you can just use a purple. That's what I'm going to be doing. So now that we have used our Roy G. Biv colors, we can go ahead and keep repeating them. So see how I still have some space in my paper? Well, I'm just going to start back up with red again, and then I'll go to orange, and then I'll go to yellow, and so on, until my paper is completely filled with colors. Once your paper is filled with colors, go ahead and flip it to the back. Now on the back, we're going to draw a monster. And what we're going to do is we're just going to work on creating the shape for it. So watch how I'm going to draw a big half oval on my paper. And then I'm going to connect that half oval with a zigzag line. Once I have drawn that on the majority of my paper, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut it out. After I've cut it out, it's time to glue it onto a background. Now, I'm just going to use a simple color background, and I think I'm going to use green today, but you get to choose what color you want to use. Ready to see some magic again? Voila! The monster's on the paper! Go ahead and add dot dot, not a lot, of glue to the bag of your monster and put it on your paper. Check it out, artists! My monster is complete! You can see that I just drew on some basic shapes to make a face. So 2 circles for the eyes and 1 circle for the mouth. And then I just used some lines to create some arms and legs. What is your line-patterned monster going to look like? I can't wait to see!